Hello, today we are going to see the Power BI desktop and Power Query. Here we can see that this is the Get Data button. We can press the Get Data button over here and press More so that after pressing the More, we can get the options of which all data we need to upload, we need to extract in Power BI. First, we will be seeing this Excel workbook. First, we will go to the Excel workbook and try to extract this data in Power BI. Okay, so I will click connect. Then over here, I will go to the place where the data is kept. So here's the data, and we can see over here that student marks data is there, which I will go into access. When we go on accessing the data, then we can see over here that this is connecting, and over here when we are connecting the data, then once we are connecting the data, what all data in the data, what all sheets are there, as we can see over here, we can go to that particular location and open the Excel file, and we can see over here that whatever data is there in the Excel sheet, those data is reflected over here in Power BI. So we can see that once I'm accessing the data, I'm trying to open the data, and in that we can see that student marks, this particular data is there. So once I open that data over there, we can then see that data. This particular data is these three sheets we can see over here: append, merge, and practice. Okay. Oh, it is taking time to open. We can just transform this data, from here. So once we click the data, we can see over here these type of three things are available. That is the append, merge, and the practice. We will just use the transform data instead of load. Now I think Excel file is yet to open, so I will use the transform data option over here, because we have to open the Power Query. After using the transform data, the Power Query option will be opened. Okay. Now one more window will be opened over here. So that is the Power Query. We can see over here, oh, this Excel file is still yet to open. We can see over here practice, append, and merge. Okay, this particular thing, practice, append, and merge. These three are present over here. So that's why we are able to see those data in Power BI. Okay, this is processing. They are processing the queries, and we are opening the data. So we'll close this Excel file. I don't know this. This is the processing time is taken. That is fine. Oh, it is taking a bit of process. Determining automatic transformations. Okay, it is taking a bit of processing time. We have to wait for it. I think we can skip this and try to see to it that it is uploaded. I don't think so. It is getting uploaded. Oh, now it has got uploaded. You can see over here. Now it has got uploaded, and we are able to now we can see over here untitled Power Query. Oh, this thing has come in between. The untitled Power Query window is there. Now we can see the all the three sheets which are there. They are uploaded over here as query. We can clearly see over here these are uploaded here as the append and the merge and the okay. These are the names of the sheets which we have been using, and these have been uploaded over here. We can clearly see it. Now once these are uploaded over here in the Power Query, they extracted over here in the Power Query, the main important part over here is this particular practice data is not in a tabular format. That is not in a proper tabular format. So what we need to do to get this particular thing in the tabular format, what we need to do is remove the top rows. This is now we have come in the Power Query where we have the tabs, like the home tab we have, this transform tab we have, and the add column tab we have. So home tab, we can put we have the groups like the close group, new group, data sources, parameters, query, manage columns, reduce rows, sort, transform, these type of queries we have. Okay, so here in this particular home tab, we will use the remove rows, and then go to the top remove top rows, so that we can remove all the 5 rows over here to get this particular data in a tabular format. Okay, now remove the top 5 rows and click OK. So here we can see now we are able to get this in a tabular format, but now we should use the first row as headers over here. That we should use it because this particular has and now is converted into headers. The main problem over here, we can see that now we can go to the view tab. Over here we will today complete this entire view tab. So in this view tab we can see that these are properly done. This has a proper green this thing, the serial number, and the data types are also there. That is the a numeric data type. In Power BI we have the data types that are the mostly the numeric data types are there, then the date and time data types are there, and the text data types are there. There is one boolean data type, that is the true and false. Okay, here we can see that there are some blanks. So how we can deal with those blanks? There are some nulls over here. The way we can deal with the blanks over here is that we can ask the stakeholders why. So for that we can just go over here, then create a duplicate, right click over here and create a duplicate of this query, and that we can always go over here and find out the empty over here. So empty, keep empty over here. There is an option. I think we can go to the home tab and there are keep rows. Okay, keep duplicates, keep rows, these are not there. So what we can do is just go over there and click the nulls. Okay, click the nulls. So we will get these are the empty. We can share it with the stakeholders that these are the empty. Okay, so here we can type it that these are the nulls, practice null. Okay, and afterwards we can use the practice over here, and then we can duplicate it, and this we can use for the errors. This we can use for the errors. Okay, we are using it for the errors. That is, we are just typing it over here and putting it that these are the errors. So here what we can do is, for getting the errors, what we can do is just go over here and keep the rows, and then select the keep errors. So only the errors will be kept over here. Okay, only the errors will be kept over here. Fine. Then these are the practice null, this is the error. Okay, so what happens, only those particular things have been kept and others have been deleted, as we have kept those We can see over here only the errors are there, so we can show those things to the stakeholders. Now suppose the stakeholders tells us that we don't know anything about the null, you take your own call what you have to do it. So what we can do is we can go to the we can go to this particular transform tab. There we can use the what we call statistics, where we can use the average. So whatever the average is, we can take the average of this, and then otherwise we can create a new tab. We can create a one duplicate tab over there. We can create go and what we take it, we can take the average of it. Okay, average of the null, and then the average is around 61. So we can go over here and then click over here to replace values. So click in the null, then replace values, and then we can put the 61 over here. So we can see earlier there is a blank. There is a blank because black there is because entire screen is not green because there are nulls. So once we click the 61, once we click the 61 over here, here we can see once we click it, this particular black what is seen is now transferred into entire green. Now there are no nulls over here. Okay. So moving on, we can see over here these is the average. Now I will try to find out the we have taken the selected this particular column and then find it out the average. Okay, then try to find out the average of that column. So now if I try to find out the average of the science column over here, what will happen is then we can create the average. We can click the average over here, but the error will be shown. But the error will be shown over here. The reason behind that with the errors we cannot take the average. So for that purpose, what we have to do is we need to first delete those errors. So there is an option. If we right click on the error, there is an option called the remove errors. The remove errors option is there, and over here after using the remove error option, what we can do is we can go to the statistics and then we can find out the average. So here we will get the average, that is 58. Okay, then we can go to this particular thing, and here we can use the option, like there is an option called the replace errors, and then we can put that instead in the replace errors, then we can put the 58. Okay, so after doing that we will able to get the, now here also there is data type is not defined. We can see the data type is defined over here, 1 2 3, then the ABC, then 1 2 3, then 1.2. The data type is not defined over here. So either we can click it over here and define the data type, or we can go to the transform data type and use the detect data type. Okay, after using this the entire data type will be defined, and here we can see that there is a thing called the distinct and the unique. The distinct and the unique. Okay, what is the distinct and the unique? So distinct is what, when we have the any two of the students, any of the student his name is repeated twice, so his name will be counted only once. For that what we will do is now we will go on to the view tab, and here we will try to make the column quality is there. First we will see what is the column quality. So column quality is what, the valid is shown, the error is shown, and the empty is shown. Earlier when we were over here, then we were able to see after, okay, so we were able to see over here that the column quality, that they were empty over here, right? And the errors were also seen over here. Error was 9%. Okay. Now after removing all the empty, we can clearly see over here there is no empty, there are no errors. So we get to know about the column quality. After that, we will go to know about the column distribution. These are the bars which is there. Here we can see only two are have the the bar is with the highest length. All these are the same. So to have a look at the two things together, the column distribution and the quality, either we can click it over here and then see it together, or the other option is just go to the column profile, and there we can see clearly. Once I go to the column profile, we can see over here clearly that Ryan Crow and the Chris Cortez, they are appearing twice over here, rest all are appearing once. So from here we can get an idea that 2 and 1 which they are appearing over here is what, 28 distinct and 26 unique. Why 28 distinct? because from 30 only two students are there, two students names are appearing twice, so that's why the number of students are 28. That is the distinct. So when we are to find out the number of students from the students which are appearing repeatedly, then we can use the distinct. And unique means what? Out of the 30 students, that there are two students names appearing twice, so those total four will be there, because two students twice, so four. So we have to, from the 30 we need to deduct a 4, that is the 26. So that are the uniques. Okay, so here we can see it is consist of the 30 rows and the 5 columns. Now we will go on to some more features of this particular thing, like the query settings. We can see over here that all these are the queries. Okay, and these are the query settings. These are the sort of query settings. Okay, then we can see over here that the, this we will see it later, the properties. This we can see that the query settings are there. So query settings, if I click it over here, the query settings goes off. Then if I click it on the formula bar, then what happens is the formula bar goes off. Okay, we can see over here, we can see the difference over here. This we will see now in the advanced editor. So first of all we will go use the go to columns. Go to columns we can see over here. Okay, so here we can go to any of the column, like here we on students, we can just click it, then we will be on the English. So that way we can select any column over here directly. If you want to go from one column to another, then you can go to the science. It will not create a difference over here in case of this, but suppose if we use this particular data, we load this particular data over here, that is using the CSS file, and there is one sales data available with me. It has the 18 columns. So in that type of data, what will happen is the sales data is available with me, which has the total 18 columns. So in that type of data, what will happen is that it will have so many columns. So here the view column will be very much useful over here. The view column tab will be very much useful over here, and we can get that particular thing. So it is connecting to the data. Let's see, it takes some time to do it. So now we will have some time to do that. Okay, sometimes we need to have patience. So now we can see that we are able to connect to the sales detail data from this particular Power Query. So we will upload this data, extract this data over here, and once we are able to extract the data, we will be able to see that this particular data will appear over here. Yeah. Okay. Now this particular data is okay. We can see the data over here. The data is appearing over here, and we can see the data has around 18 columns. So here, once we go over here, this particular thing, that is the go to column, will be very useful. We can just go to this column, particular column, and select the payment method, and then we can go to this that particular column. Okay, that is very much useful. Fine. So that way it is very much useful. You don't need to go on scrolling and scrolling and again. Now afterwards, after seeing to the go to columns, we will be going on to the advanced editor. That what is the advanced editor? So here we can see over here in the practice, I can select the practice query over here. These are all the queries. So here we can see this query is there, and the name of the query is also over here. So we can put one, then the name of the query changes to practice one. Okay, we can change the name from here also by under the query by double clicking on that particular query. So what will happen now if we go to the advanced editor, we can clearly see over here. Once we go on to the advanced editor, then a new window opens where we can clearly see over here that there is a let means what, from where all these queries are there, like all this particular or the applied steps over here, like right from uploading the file, we can see over here this file is uploaded, then and each and every step we can see this particular source is linked to this particular source. This, after that, this practice sheet is linked over here to this practice sheet. The promoted headers are been linked over here to the promoted headers. So all the steps are been linked together. They are not individually there. So they are linked together, and this source we can see over here, the source are there, the navigation is there, the promoted headers are there. We can see promoted headers, change type, remove top rows, promoted headers, all those headings which are there, these are the variables, and this is the equation, like what exactly has to be done in that is specified over here, and these are the variables where this particular value or this particular step is stored. So each variable over here is same, this particular in this sequence, all the variables over here in this sequence, and the last variable we can see is after the in. After the in, this the last particular variable which is there. Okay. So after completing this, we will go on to the query dependencies, like what all queries are been there, what all queries are been uploaded by us, and here we can clearly see the queries which are there. That is, once we open that particular query, then we can clearly see the dialog box over here and what are the different type of files and where we have brought from. That is the information by which has been shown by the query dependencies. Okay. So here we can clearly see the query dependencies that the uh, so there we can see the query dependencies, the append, merge, and all are not loaded. Whatever there are in the Power Query, they are not loaded in the Power BI desktop. So all the information over here is that these files are not loaded, and we get from which data source. So here we can see the data source by clicking it by 1 minute. I will just. Uh, So I think I am trying to get, you can see over here the data source is reflected over here from where this particular file we have got. Okay, each and everything the data source is there. So now we can close this particular thing, and then we can go on to the Power BI desktop, and right now we can see over here, I think that is a bit slow. Now we can try closing this, and here from the home tab, after understanding all the functions over here except this parameters that we will see later. So here we can go in the home tab. There are three options to go on to the Power BI desktop. One is the close and the apply. So whatever changes we have done will be applied over here, and this particular power query will close. Then is the apply button, that only the changes will be applied and we will stay in the Power Query. And close means what? Without applying the changes, the Power Query will be closing. Here we can see the description on hovering the hovering over here. So we will use the close and apply, and right now we are on the untitled Power Query. What will happen when we go on to the close and apply option? That will take us to the Power BI desktop, and after taking us to the Power BI desktop, we can see over here now we are on the Power BI desktop, and that after using that Power BI desktop we can okay, now it is showing us the changes. So apply, I think I need to select over here, apply over here, and first thing we will do today is that create the name of this particular file. We can see over here, and end the training session, today's training session. So I will use the apply changes over here, and then I can try to create the, okay, I think it is doing some operation. So it is taking some time and doing some operation over here, so we need to wait it for that, and then once it is through, then we can okay, let me check once we can through. Oh, it is not allowing me. Anyway, so for today we will just have a look at this. For today we will be finishing off this training session, and I will meet you on this next video, so that we will save this particular file in the next video, and I will show, I think if it is possible I will do it right now itself, or else we will go on to the, because there is some problem which is happening, not able to get that save part over here. Okay, so I think, okay, we will, what is the message which is there? We will have a look. It has some processing time it is showing. So in the next video we will always see how to apply the changes over here, and then we can save the file, this Power BI desktop, in the next video. Okay, fine, thank you.